Hey peeps, my name is Naisha and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about Astrea's Broken Heart, episodes 3 through 5. Um, Spoilers, I just want to let you know there will be spoilers and things like that because I'm going to tell you what happened in episodes 3, 4, and 5. Now, episode 3 starts off where the second episode left off, which was Audrey overhearing Raphael, excuse me, Audrey overhearing Raphael say that um, he needed help from his father. If he didn't get any help, um, someone will die. And so of course, Audrey, she is concerned and she's trying to figure out, okay, who is the she that he's talking about? Because he could be talking about any woman. So, of course, she goes to Michael. And Michael basically tells her that, like, because she asks, why does Raphael say, like, something about his father and things like that. And it turns out Michael and Raphael are brothers and their father went missing some time ago. So, of course, they're trying to find him, but they're not having any luck. And, of course, Audrey, she's concerned because she's thinking, like, okay, well, he's still grieving the loss of his father. So, yeah, she's thinking in that level, okay, like, yeah, what's wrong with him? Is there anything we could do to help him and things like that? And so then she tells Michael that he kept asking, Raphael kept asking help from his father. And then, again, Michael is like just saying, like, he's still dealing with the fact that their father is missing and things like that. He's trying to downplay it to basically assure Audrey that everything's okay. And because of this, he's not going to tell Raphael that Audrey overheard him because, again, Michael thinks that Audrey is just, you know, um, she's just concerned about her coworker, which she is, but like she wants to get to the bottom of things because she feels like something's going on with Raphael. But either way, Michael, tells her like everything's gonna be okay, and of course, Audrey has nothing left to do, so she goes. So I want to say she leaves Michael's office and she runs into David. David, of course, wants to take her out to a club, get her, party with her, just get to know his co-worker a bit more. And of course, he's doing some flirting. And of course, Audrey, she dressed to the nines. Like, homegirl is looking good. And of course, she goes to the club with him. She meets this woman named Charlotte that David knows, and she makes a good impression on Charlotte and things like that. But either way, David goes to get her something to drink, and some weird dude comes up to her. Of course, she's trying to tell him leave her alone, and he ain't doing it, he ain't want to leave her alone. So of course, David gotta come back and let him know, like, hey, if she don't want nothing to do with you, go, shoot, fly, don't bother her. And that's when he leaves. And of course, David and Audrey starts dancing, having fun and all that stuff. Now, after they start dancing, after they start dancing, Charlotte comes to David and tells David, like, something just happened, come quick, like something horrible happened. So, of course, um, David and Audrey, they go and come to find out, like, they go into this room and they find a body of a girl. And then, of course, there's another girl. She's in the corner crying and things like that. And um, the girl that's crying, her name is Emily. And Emily, she's just shaking up and things like that. And of course, Audrey is talking to her, trying to calm her down, trying to tell her that she's safe, trying to figure out what happened. And basically, Emily said that she and her sister, who is the one that's on the ground and stuff like that, on the floor, she said that her and her sister wasn't supposed to be here. Her sister kept saying that they should go home and things like that, and was saying something about, like, their father would, like, kill them if, like, they, like, stay out too long and things like that. And not only that, but she said that someone had came and basically attacked her sister and things like that. And so, of course, like, Emily is taken away by some paramedics to see if she's okay and things like that. Because, again, something, like, it seemed like a tussle happened. It seemed like something happened to her and stuff, but for her sister, unfortunately, she was murdered, and she has, like, a brand on, like, a mark on her chest, like somebody branded her and things like that. And of course, they're taking a better look. Also, I forgot to mention, Emily has a necklace with half a heart, and her sister also has a necklace with half a heart as well. Keep that in mind. Um, Felonia, she shows up on the scene as well, and of course, Felonia asks for Raphael because Raphael is um like, he's an appraiser and things like that, and she needs his help with something. So, of course, David takes Audrey back to the agency and things like that. And Audrey, she doesn't know what's going on, but what she does know is that, like, Michael, Cass, David, and Raphael, they all are having a conversation without her. And of course, she's, like, trying to figure out why they leaving her out. So, of course, she decides, she gonna do some digging and things like that. Not only that, but she noticed that Raphael had a necklace, had basically Emily's sister's necklace. And of course, again, she's suspicious. So she decides to go in his room and see what's going on. So she sneaks into his room. She sees, like, photos and stuff, and she takes pictures of those, of the photos of the other victims that, because I guess it seems like there is a serial killer going loose and stuff like that. So this isn't the first person who's been marked the way the girl has been marked. So, of course, she takes photos, and then she wants to confront him, but she hears somebody come into the room and stuff like that. So then she goes into the bathroom. She sees that David and Raphael are in the bathroom. Not in the bathroom, but, like, in the room. Like, they enter the room, like, she thought Raphael would be by himself, but he's not. So, of course, she decides, hey, she got to get out here. So she basically gets out by the window, and she ends up falling. And however, she thinking she's gonna hurt herself. Like, yeah, she thinks she's gonna hurt herself because she fell. However, Raphael catches her, but she's trying to figure out, okay, how come? Because she's like, wait a minute. She knows that he was in his room with David. So how did he get down here? And of course, he worried for her and things like that. And of course, she explains to him she's just concerned about him and things like that. One, because she sees that he has the necklace the same as Emily. And of course, she's just, trying to tell him, like, hey, I'm here for you. Just tell me what's going on with you. And of course, he's like, ain't nothing going on with me, nothing like that. And the only reason why I got the necklace is because he said Felonia gave it to him, which I could see her doing that because she did ask for him at the crime scene, but he wasn't there. So she can understand why, like, now she understands why he has a necklace. And we go to the next episode. Yeah, we go to the next episode. Also, I just want to say that, like, in episode 3, Audrey can have a moment with David or Raphael, or like both of them. I decided to do, like, she has a moment with both of them and things like that. It was a cute little moment, especially with David and also with Raphael, but mainly David. But back to the fourth episode. The fourth episode, also I forgot to mention what the third episode was called. My bad, y'all. If I could find the name of it, A Matter of Trust. And the summary of A Matter of Trust, which is episode 3, it says, recognizing the danger in an animal's scowl is easy, but to tell friend from foe from their charming smiles, on the other hand. Now, the fourth episode is called The Cursed Village, and individuals' madness can be attributed to their own mind, but what if an entire village believes in the same curse? So basically, in this one, episode 4, Michael gets the group together and tells them, like, just basically goes over, like, the case that like, is on their lap, basically saying how this girl who was murdered not too long ago, how she is connected to these other murderers, and that she and another murderer are the only ones that had, like, I guess the burn, yeah, like the brand, while everyone else has been carved, like the markings have been carved into them and stuff like that, but they were brand. And of course, you know, I of course, like while Michael is talking and just telling him everything, Audrey is just trying to get the sense of what's going on, like if the victims were connected or not, like just she just trying to figure out, like, what's going on, like what made them victims, basically, like what's the killer's motive and things like that. And of course, after they talk about that, they also go to another case where this woman named Rahad and stuff like that, she her grandmother went missing and things like that. And so not only that, but like the town keeps talking about, like, a curse and things like that. They decided to go into town and things like that. No, I don't think, like, they had a case. I don't know. It's something, like, they had to go into town for something. And of course, Felonia takes Audrey to town. But first she gives her, like, an outfit to, dress up and things like that, to go to this town. which I don't understand why she had to give her outfit to go to this town, but nonetheless, um, Audrey, Felonia, Raphael, and Cass, they go to this town. Basically the village. This town. And of course, like they meet this guy, and this guy says, um, like there's a witch that had cursed the whole town and things like that, because there are people who had kids that like he said, him and his wife had miscarriages, and they're not the only one that had miscarriages or had kids like dying and things like that. And of course, um the guy also gives them water as well and things like that. And so we know that Audrey drank some of it, well, most of it and stuff, and that's to be noted, because while they're talking to him, some mystery woman pops up. Her name is Raha. Um, and basically she pops up because her grandmother, like she's trying to find her grandmother, because her grandmother was supposed to go like um her grandmother was supposed to basically move with them, because the town, for some odd reason, some crazy reason, they believed that she was a witch, even though she just liked to use herbal like methods and things like that to help people. So they kept thinking she a witch, and they kept terrorizing her and her family. And of course, Raha's mother was like, because Raha was still a child, um, she decided to take Raha, but the grandmother said that she would stay, but she would come like when she get her, like I guess her ducks in a row. And her grandmother never did, and so she just trying to look for her grandmother. And so while they doing that and trying to figure out, like, is the town really cursed, and is there really a witch and things like that. And I just want to take this time to say that there's a there like I've noticed there's a theme with each episode. Like they would be like, okay, it would make it seem like there's something supernatural going on, but it turned out that there's nothing really supernatural going on and stuff like that. And this is another case of it, because um in this one they find the guy that owns like the factory in the town, like because the town has like a factory that basically gives people a whole lot of jobs. And they they find out that Raha's mother used to work at this factory, and of course they decided to talk to the factory owner and things like that. And of course, I don't know why I keep saying of course, but basically they find out that the factory owner has been poisoning the water supply. Like the factory, like all the chemicals that the factory like is like putting out, the toxic is getting to the water, and that's what's causing all these miscarriages and stuff, basically making people sick and things like that. And of course, since Audrey drank the water, she's feeling sick and stuff. And um there's like a, I'm not gonna say a tussle, but the owner, he pulls out a gun, and he just holds Audrey hostage, because like um uh, Audrey, Cass, and Raphael, they still go digging around to see like what's going on, because they want to find out like is there really a curse? Again, like I said, and also find Raha's grandmother. They end up finding Raha's grandmother. Unfortunately, they come to the realization that she was burned because the town people basically they basically burned her because they thought she was a witch, and they thought, like, if they got rid of her that way, that it would get rid of the curse, but it never did. And it's just heartbreaking, because also Raha, because she was living there for the moment to try to look for her grandmother, she also was poisoned with the water as well. And so, and she was, I want to say, yeah, she was in the yeah, was she had to be hospitalized because I guess she took the worst of it. Whereas again, Audrey, she was like everyone else, they drunk a little bit of it, but not as much as Audrey and things like that. And Audrey, she passed out, but before she passed out, she saw a wolf attacking the guy that was holding her hostage. And of course, she pet the wolf and things like that. But after she pet the wolf, again, she passed out and stuff like that. And when she came to, Michael was just telling her, like, what happened, and things like that. And basically, again, to sum up episode 4, the village wasn't cursed. The owner of the factory, basically the rich guy there, he was, again, I want to say, like, the chemicals, yeah, the chemical waste from his factory, he was basically letting it just, go to the water supply, and that's what was poisoning people, making people sick, killing kids, and also, causing miscarriages and things like that. And also, they find out that the town people had basically burned Raha's grandmother alive and things like that. So, like, yeah, find out that they killed Raha's grandmother. And of course, there's no justice there because no one's talking about it and things like that. But basically, the owner, the guy, he was the one that decided to make it seem like Raha's grandmother was really a witch when she wasn't. And so, yeah, that's what happened in chapter 4. Um, well, it happened in chapter 5, I meant to say, because when she pet the wolf, she passed out. That was in chapter 4. That brings us to chapter 5. Um, chapter 5 is called The Call. Sometimes the dead will call, but should you pick up when they do? Now, chapter 5, again, it basically begins with her waking up and Michael telling her what I basically said about how the owner of the factory was behind basically Raha's grandmother being hunted as a witch and responsible for, like, people getting sick and having miscarriages and kids dying and all that stuff. And of course, Michael's trying to see if she fully recovered and things like that. And Audrey said, like, yeah, she recovered. And she wants to do a case and stuff like that. She wants to know what's the next case. And Michael tells her, like, oh, the next case, he's doing the next case, him and Felonia. And Audrey said, "Well, I want to go too," and he was like, um, I don't know about that because you just recover." And she was like, "No, I need a distraction." And of course, he was like, "Okay, fine. Since you want a distraction, you could come." And this one is basically, apparently, there's this group of older women. They go to yoga and things like that, and apparently their husbands are basically calling them from beyond, and they're trying to figure out if this is supernatural or if there is more to it, because um every woman who every woman that gets a call, apparently the husband would say something along the lines of like, ask for like something of theirs and things like that. And so they go to this woman who says that her husband keeps asking for his watch and things like that, but she doesn't have the watch because she donated away and things like that. They basically find out that this is nothing but what they think is nothing but a scam, and they are kind of correct, because it turns out that one of the women, her name is Claudia. She got a call first, and of course everyone, I guess, was making fun of her, and then they started to receive calls as well. And we find out that Claudia's nephew Eli was the one that's making the calls and things like that, because he said that Claudia, he loves his aunt and he cares for her, but like she just was never the same when basically her husband and her two sons, especially her youngest, um, she was never the same when they died. And so he decided to make it seem like make it seem like her youngest son Marcus was calling her. And when he heard that like all the other women were making fun of his aunt and stuff, he was telling them to like, he decided to make a call to everybody, and they found all the burner phones that he had, and also that he actually took like items that the women had he took the items that the women had like on put in their he took the items that the women I guess they placed the items on their husband's grave and stuff like that, and he took those and stuff. And so Audrey and Felonia tells him like, "Hey, you're gonna have to take it back," and stuff like that. Like, you're gonna have to take it back. And I just want to let you guys know that like the phone in Claudia's house, um the phone in Claudia's house, isn't working. Like the phone line has been ripped and stuff like that. So um so I say this to say that at the end of chapter 5, because again, like I said, the whole point of chapter 5 is just talking to like a woman about like trying to, well, not only talk to a woman, but before then, you talking to David and Cass because they trying to see if you okay and things like that, and you have a moment with either David or Cass, and then after that, you are going with Felonia and Michael to figure out what these mystery calls all about. And then after you figure out what the mystery calls are about, you can either have a moment with Felonia or with Michael and stuff like that. Either way, yeah, you could either have a conversation, you could either have a moment with either Felonia or Michael, or you could have a moment with both. I chose not to have a moment with them at this time and things like that. However, after she either talks to them or don't. But yeah, in my playthrough, Audrey doesn't talk to them that much and things like that. She just leaves them to their own device. However, when she leaves them to her own device, she hears the phone ring, which she is freaking out a bit because the phone, like I said earlier, has been ripped. So, like, no one should be making any calls. So, of course, she hears a man's voice and basically she assumes it's Michael because he says mama and things like that, and he's like saying like help me and things like that. And of course she's like Marcus, and then it switches to her mother's voice. And of course, like her mother's like, trying to warn her, saying, hey, you need to prepare. You just need to prepare. Like, he's coming and things like that. And then and that's how chapter 5 ends. I forgot to mention that I forgot which one. Either I'm thinking episode 5. I'm not sure, but there's a moment where it's like I think she's having like a nightmare and stuff like that. But anyway, she is at like church, like she's having a dream. She's at church with her mom and dad. Her mom's trying to get her to drink something, but she's like, nah, she don't want to drink it. And of course, like her mom's like, come on, please do this for me. And then it ends up like there ends up like somehow being a shoe out and type of situation, and then she ends up waking up. I and I want to say it could be in one of the 3 like episodes that we have. Like it could be in either episodes 3, 4, or 5. I forgot which one it is, but excuse me. But yeah, I forgot to mention that. But I only mentioned that because I'm assuming that not only is that a nightmare, but that's probably a memory of hers. I'm not sure. Not sure. However, but the end of chapter 5, of episode 5, I was like, now I'm hooked because I'm trying to figure out, okay, now wait a minute now, because I know also I forgot to mention her friend was trying to get her to go to church and like trying to get her to go back to church, and of course Audrey said she'll go, only to make her friend happy and things like that. But the only reason why I'm mentioning that is because something about churches just rub Audrey the wrong way, it seems like, and stuff. And not only that, but like the whole situation with her mother, again, like I said, I'm thinking that the dream was actually a memory and stuff like that, because again, if her mother, because like we don't really know too much about her parents, but I'm assuming that her parents are no longer like, no longer alive. So either way, I want to say chapter 3, 4, and what episodes 3, 4, and 5. I'm gonna be honest, they were not. They were actually pretty good. I was not disappointed at all, especially with with episode 5. I'm gonna be honest. Episode 5, well, I'm gonna be honest, 3, 4, and 5 were actually sad, like very heartbreaking in their own way. Um 3 was heartbreaking because of Emily saying how, her sister told her that they should have left, and she should deal with her sister said, and because of that, she doesn't realize that her sister is dead and things like that. She doesn't realize that her sister was murdered and things like that. And then in the fourth one, basically the town suffered, and instead of the owner basically of the factory owning up to it, he decided to blame a elderly lady that ain't do nothing wrong. And it was heartbreaking that she didn't get any justice for herself. And not only that, but her granddaughter is not in the hospital because of the poison water. So, and then in the fifth one, the sad thing about it was Claudia, like knowing that, like, a she was a happy go lucky woman, and because she lost her family, she just couldn't handle it and things like that. And of course, her um, nephew was trying to just put a smile on her face because she still thinks that her youngest son, Marcus, is still alive and things like that. So, yeah, it's truly, that was truly sad. And I'm also curious to not figure out, but I'm also curious to know if the if Michael and the group is going to like tell Audrey that they're supernatural, because there are too many things that are pointing to them being supernatural, especially because they keep mentioning how warm David is, how the fact that she know that Raphael was in the room, however he was able to catch her and things like that. And also the fact that, like, they drank the water too, but they didn't flinch, didn't bat an eye. Like, she want to know what's going, she, again, I'm pretty sure she wants to know, like, what's going on. So I'm curious to know, like, what's going to happen in episode 6, and also if we're gonna get not only, because like I already know we're gonna get episode 6, but are we gonna also get an episode 7 or 8? Like, how many episodes are we gonna get? Are we just gonna get one, or are we gonna get 2 or 3? I'm kind of curious to know. Also, I also like the moments that you do have with your potential love interest. I also think it was crazy because I know, because I haven't decided who she's going to like be with, like either Michael, David, Cass, or Raphael. I haven't decided. She's kind of like, flirting with like all 4 of them. And I know there was a moment where Raphael like sees that Cass is getting kind of close to Audrey, and of course Raphael doesn't know how to feel because he's also getting close to Audrey. So he doesn't know if he should be happy for Cass or upset because he wants to get to know Audrey better. I'm kind of curious to know, like, how this is going to go, because David even says he's like, he don't share. What's his is his. What the hell? Sorry about that, guys. sorry about that, guys. Don't know what was going on there. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Yeah, like I was saying, I'm excited to know what is going to happen and who's coming. Because, again, this could be connected to what Raphael was saying. So, yeah, I'm curious to know what's going to happen. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Also, I am so sorry for that outburst. I really am. Again, so sorry. I wish I could edit it, but unfortunately I can't. So I apologize for that. But again, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, see ya.